When I think of intercity train travel in the United Kingdom, the first thing that comes to mind is usually not excellent food, comfy seats or high quality trains. But luckily, there are still a few good trains left in the UK. This is the Transport for Wales Premier Service, serving up excellent onboard meals, and it's cheaper than what you might think. So join me in the comfy first class seats as we make our way down from Manchester to Cardiff.
Our trip begins from Manchester Piccadilly station, the largest train station in the Greater Manchester area, home to just under 3 million people. The original station, roughly on this location, opened in 1842, originally as Store Street, later renamed London Road, before finally adopting the name Piccadilly in 1960. Heading inside the station building, we find a modern station complex that went through a pretty big renovation in 2002. As we'll be catching the 12:30 service to Cardiff, we still got an hour before the train leaves. Inside the station, you will find facilities such as a staffed ticket office. There's also plenty of food outlets and shop throughout the station on all levels. There's also a large food court up on what's known as the terrace. And up here, you can also get a nice view overlooking the station. In addition to the mainline trains, the station is also served by Metrolink down in what I'm calling the basement. This is the city's combined tram and light rail network that reminds me a lot of a German Stadtbahn. It's even possible to view the trams coming in and out of the station from above. But as our train, not tram, will be departing soon, let's head through to the mainline platforms. To access them, you must scan your ticket at the barrier, which took 2 takes for me this time. The station is served by a lot of operators, such as Northern and TransPennine Express, that both operate various services in and around the north of England. For a fast service to London, you want to pay attention to Avanti West Coast. I'll be having my review of them coming up in the future, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel to not miss that. The day I was traveling on, Northern was on strike, so they had a lot of trains just parked around. Thankfully, our train is operated by Transport for Wales and not Northern, so here it is pulling in on time from Cardiff Central. Our train consists of Mark IV coaches that used to belong to the Intercity 225 sets used on the East Coast Main Line. At what's now gonna be the front of the train, we have a Mark IV DVT, standing for Driving Van Trailer, which is an unpowered control car built in the late 1980s. Pushing our train is a Class 67 locomotive, leased in from Deutsche Bahn's UK rail freight division. These were built around the turn of the millennium and are capable of speeds up to 125 miles per hour. Anyway, let's head on board. I will be traveling in first class today, which is a requirement to take advantage of the onboard food. Luckily, on Transport for Wales, they usually sell their first class tickets for quite cheap, often only being a £5 to £10 upgrade over a standard class ticket. Anyway, as I didn't reserve a seat today, I just picked this one. We depart Manchester Piccadilly right on time at 12:30.
Welcome on board Transport for Wales. In a few minutes, we will be ready to depart for Cardiff Central.
And as we snake our way out of Manchester Piccadilly, Let's have a look at the route map for today's journey. We are on board the 12:30 Transport for Wales service from Manchester Piccadilly to Cardiff Central. Heading south, we will make 9 intermediate stops before reaching Cardiff Central. This is a distance of 170 miles covered in 3 hours 13 minutes, giving the train an average speed of 53 miles per hour. And as we leave Manchester, let's waste no time in having a look at the menu. On offer, you'll find 3 freshly cooked starters, mains and desserts. 2 courses cost £22 or all 3 for £25. An extensive and fairly priced drinks menu is also on offer. Shortly after departure from Manchester, we make our first station stop in Stockport. After departure from Stockport, the onboard staff came around to take food orders, so while we wait for the first course to be served, let's take a closer look at the first class seats. A stylish seat is provided in first class in a 1+2 layout. Above the seats you'll find the reservation display as well as space for luggage. Under the table you'll find a power outlet. The seat itself comes with plastic armrests, which can be moved to allow for easier access. The seats also recline. Featuring a nice leather-like fabric, the seat strikes a really good balance between padding and ergonomic design, among my favorite on UK rails. And while we were travelling at 105 miles per hour towards Wilmslow, the crew served the Welsh lager I ordered along with my meal. At £3.75, I thought this was reasonable for on a train. At Wilmslow, we see one of Transport for Wales' new CAF trains. These also serve the route from Manchester to Cardiff, but don't offer the same premium food as on board this train. You can see on the Transport for Wales website if your train offers a trolley or proper dining car service.
Crewe, Shrewsbury, Ledlow.
Next up, we'll call at Crewe, one of the UK's most important junction railway stations. Crewe, along with Doncaster, is the station with the most different train operating companies calling, with no fewer than 7 different operators regularly making stops here. Leaving Crewe, make sure to look out of one of the windows on the right hand side to catch a view of the Railway Heritage Centre. Sitting in here are loads of beautifully preserved former trains that used to be used all over the UK, including this blue Pullman HST. After Crewe, the crew set up my table for the first course. Also after Crewe, we lose railway electrification, but gain my first course. This is the classic Welsh rarebit with a twist, and it was absolutely delicious. Toast with bacon and cheese, count me in. And just like our train, now the courses just started rolling in, with the next one arriving just as we pulled past the old signal box in Shrewsbury. For my main course, I opted for the slow-cooked Welsh lamb shank, and let me tell you, this was bloody good. The mash had a delicious hint of chives and the lamb was cooked to perfection. Our journey continues on from Shrewsbury, as we run through the lovely fields of this part of the United Kingdom. What a beautiful day to be making this journey on. And just after passing non-stop through Cardiff Arms Station, our third course is served. I tried something I've never had before, sticky toffee pudding, and I ordered a can of Coke, which is included in the first class ticket. As I've never had it before, I have no idea what a good one is supposed to taste like, but I found this delicious. Overall, this is some of the best food I've had on a regular train. In total, I paid £28.70 for all of the foods and drinks, which I think is excellent value. I mean, I would expect to pay something like that in a regular restaurant, and this one is on rails. And to round everything off, the Crewe also offered every first class passenger a piece of cake, which is part of the complimentary service in first class. The menu changes seasonally, and at the time of editing a special Christmas menu was on, looking like this. They are available to download on the Transport for Wales website. As our train departs Hereford, we will shortly be crossing the border over into Wales. It happens as we cross over this bridge, taking us over a river I'm not even gonna attempt to pronounce. But one thing I can attempt to do is show you the rest of the train. This is of course first class, coming in a mix of airline style seats as well as table seats. This is the accessible seating. The train's also fitted with modern electronic passenger displays. There's also a few luggage racks throughout the carriage. And out here is where you will find the accessible toilet. Next up we find the kitchen, which is of course where the crew has been cooking up all lovely meals. The rest of the train comes in standard class in a 2+2 layout, but table service is only available for first class passengers. And let's do a little toilet review. Sliding the door back in place, we can lock it like this. The toilet is looking clean. The flush is working. We got working water. Overall it's clean and well stocked, so I'm giving it a thumbs up. Continuing further down the train, we find more standard class seating. So let's take a closer look at these seats. Unfortunately, the window alignment isn't always perfect on those, but the seats are comfortable. You also get a power outlet as well as tray tables. However, it does seem like standard class could use some more space for bigger bags. At the rear of the train, we can also get a view of the engine pushing our train. And now, back at my seat, we are almost approaching Newport. This is where we join with the newly electrified mainline from London and almost Bristol Temple meets. This route is served by some of the UK's worst long-distance trains, a complete contrast to this one, which I've already made a video about, which you can check out by clicking the link in the top right hand corner. So as we complete our stop in Newport, we'll make our way towards our final destination, Cardiff Central. And as we'll soon be at Cardiff Central, it's time to sum up my thoughts on this journey. A regular advance ticket starts from £50 in first class. It's a reasonable but not amazing price, and the ticket prices can go up considerably if you don't book in advance. In general, the ticketing system in the UK is overly complex, with there being many complicated ways to get discounts ranging from something as simple as railcards to split ticketing. But overall, this was an amazing, not just train journey, but train experience, with comfortable trains, tasty food, at reasonable prices. It shows that when people running the railways actually care for them, it is possible to create a good train service, even in the United Kingdom. We arrived 19 minutes behind schedule at Cardiff Central, thanks to some delays around Hereford and Newport. So, what do you think of Transport for Wales Premier Service? Let me know in the comments down below. And if you want to see more videos like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel, as I try to post a new one every Sunday. You can also follow me over on Twitter at IntercitySimon. I usually post live for my travels over there, so it's a great place to get a sneak peek at what videos might be coming to the channel in the future. Thanks for watching.